Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidanandamurtaye Nisprapanchaya Santaya Niralambaya Tejase Sankaram Sankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutrahasakritam Vande Bhagavanto Punaha Punaha Ishvara Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Himavadvyaktadeehaya Siddhachinamurtaye Namaha Om Gurubhyo Namaha Om Ganganapataye Namaha Om Ayan Saraswataye Namaha Om Kling Kalikaye Namaha Om Kling Bhadrakali Namaha Om Dandurgaye Namaha Om Hrim Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namam Shivaya Namam Shivaya Namam Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namam Shivaya Namam Shivaya Namam Namah Shivaya Om 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 Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namam Shivaya Namam Shivaya Namam Namah Shivaya Om. So today our prayers dedicated to Lord Shiva. We are going to learn and study today Shiva Sutras. Shiva Sutra that we have been studying long time before. So but today again I would like to start also Sutra number 1. So the Shiva Sutras we have to understand now where the Shiva Sutras are coming from. So Shiva Sutra origin and origin revealed by the Shiva Sutra is origin revealed by Lord Shiva, and Shiva Sutra is the science of revelations, and the science of revelation means science of enlightenments. So therefore, first sutras they say Chaitanya Atma. What say Chaitanya Atma? So this is the taught by Lord Shiva. So what is Atma? Atma is remain conscious. Atma is remain absolute, and Atma is remain eternal. So Atma means and a translated as a soul. It's say the independent state of super consciousness is the reality of everything. So Atma is the supreme consciousness, supreme reality, supreme truth, or the absolute consciousness. So that is all about the Shiva Sutras. Like you study Yoga Anusasanam in Yoga Sutras. Yoga is all about the discipline of the mind, body, and self. So Anusasana only one can attain, or one can only realize, or one can actually implement when a yogi, a seeker can be enlightenment. So after enlightenment, only yogi can be disciplined. It means a yogi, a seeker can be over mastery of the mind, over mastery of the mind. Then discipline naturally happens. And so far we are slave of the mind, there are no discipline. So therefore yoga anusasanam all about the sutra is all about the enlightenment. The sutra directly and guide us all about enlightenment. That you have to clear. So it means the enlightenment person and can walk in the path of discipline. Ordinary person not. If you are walking path of discipline, then naturally there is no any kind of difficulties in a life, neither stress nor the strain, and not any difficulties to suffering also. So therefore the Yoga Sutra taught us how to be disciplined, how to be disciplined. So once we are and implement the discipline, law of nature, law of spirit, law of life, law of karmas. So there is many kind of disciplines, and once you are implement all disciplines in your life, So naturally you are safe and there are no suffering. Then and you are free. Like when you follow the discipline of the traffic lights, naturally you can avoid also accidents. Similarly, and this one example. So therefore, and here the Shiva Sutra taught by Lord Shiva, Chaitanam Atma. Chaitanya means consciousness, and Atma means soul, and is the pure consciousness, and it is a independent. Is a independent, not depend of nothing. It's not depend nothing. So far you are depending something, so you are becoming slave of the that objectives. An object. Even if you are depend on anyone, even you depend on the master, on the teacher, on your servant, on your anything you depend, it does not brings the highest and happiness, and it brings actually the slave of that objective. So therefore, any desires we create, it also brings end of the day suffering. But of course, as a human being, we must have some desires. We some have wishes. This is the law of nature. Law of nature. We have to have some minimum desires and minimum wishes so that we can survive. So sometimes we have lot of wishes, and not possible to fulfill them, and that is the cause of our and difficulties, cause of our suffering, cause of our stress and strain. So therefore, you have to be very clear. And Shiva Sutra taught us how to and realize our inner soul, inner spirit, which is the remain and supreme consciousness. So Shiva Sutras are uh, the sutras of Lord Shiva of himself. I try to read some commentary. You can also follow them. So the Shiva Sutras are the sutras of Lord Shiva himself, and that is Khemaraj, and a disciple of Abhinav Gupta. Khemaraj is a disciple and who have been studied the Shiva Sutras, and as a disciple of Abhinav Gupta, he may be studied last time. Today I am going to teaching. There is a great master. His name is Swami Lakshman Jo. Lakshman Jo. Swami Lakshman Jo, who taught, and this Shiva Sutras also there is commentaries. They say the Shiva Sutras are the sutras of Lord Shiva himself. Khemaraj, a disciple of Abhinav Gupta, has provided us with a commentary on them. He begins with an introductory verse. I surrender my body and mind to that supreme God consciousness of Shiva, who is the whole universe and who is one in many. It is from him that the Rudras and the Kshatragya. Kshatragya. Kshatragya means who have the wisdom of the specific areas, the master of specific areas. But Kshatragya means here who is master of the whole world, master of the whole cosmos. Arise, and it is in him that they rest. We call Kshatriya Sannyas. Sometimes say we took Kshatriya Sannyas, like I do Panchagni Sadhana, and staying in the ashram, in the territories, not to go out of territories. Whatever comes, you have to be content. Whatever you receive, to be content. And if you desire something, expect something not comes, also you have to content. That's like Kshatriya Sannyas. Sannyas means, and whatever available to you, you have to be content. Called Kshatriya Sannyas. Similarly, so Lord Shiva called Kshatragya. Kshatragya. Yeah means here the person who have knowledge, the wisdom. Kshatriya means with the master, with the Swami of that Kshatriya. Kshatriya means areas, the place, the territories. Not to clinging something more. It means, so whatever we have, that, and we must be content, must be happy. So that is called Kshatragya. So therefore, and so therefore sometimes some yogis, some sannyasins, especially nowadays, they stay one place for 4 months. That is Chaturmasya. Chaturmasya 4 months. Sometimes they stay 2 months. I did already in Corona time. So they don't cross any rivers, for example. They don't cross the city. They're living in limited areas. and so whatever available, they stay that area. So it's good for the concentration mind. That and concentration mind and is helping you for meditation and contemplate. Going to know and yourself. They say this universe, which is world consciousness, is filled with and is one with the supreme state of God consciousness. God consciousness is called spanda. Spanda means like a vibrations, a unique reality of supreme movement, filled with the nectar and an outpouring of the supreme bliss of independence. Himra says, although I know there are many commentaries existing on Shiva Sutra, I find they are all differ from each other and are all incorrect. But anyway, so Himra has tried to, maybe he's a great scholar and he reads so many books about Shiva Sutra and he find commentary are not not exactly what Sutra would like to say. So therefore, taking the protection of my master and scriptures, I will present a new and fresh approach in commenting on the Shiva Sutras. Sometime before, in the valley of Kashmir, at the foot of Sri Mahadeva mountain, there lived a great devotee of Lord Shiva named Vasugupta. He was absolutely unique and purified by the grace of Lord Shiva. You know Kashmir. So in that Lord Shiva, Amarnath, Lord Mahadev, Amarnath, Lord Shiva. Amarnath means the Swami of eternal. Amar means eternal and Natha means Swami, master of eternal. So those who have master of the absolute science and is called Amarnath. He was absolutely unique and purified by the grace of Lord Shiva. Filled with devotion, Vasugupta did not accept the theory and teachings of Buddhist philosophers. Having purified his heart by the teachings of Siddhas and Yoginis, he was determined in meditating on Lord Shiva. After some time, Lord Shiva, having decided to elevate the great master Vasugupta by filling him with a true knowledge, appeared in a dream. In this dream, he told Vasugupta that at the foot of Mahadev mountain, there is a great boulder, and under this boulder are the inscribed his sacred verses, the sutras. He then directed him to find the sutras and to practice their teachings. If you do this, he said, you will discover the truth of the reality of the God consciousness. So this kind of mystic for the Vasugupta. So Vasugupta awake from his dream and set up in the shores of the great rock. Eventually, he found the rock just where Lord Shiva said it would be. At the foot of the Mahadev mountain, as soon as he tossed it, and it turned over and there, on the understanding, under, on the underside, he found the engraved sutras described by Lord Shiva. So that is how, and he found the script and it was taught by Lord Shiva. But anyway, so still is a mystic. It is a mystic. But generally, I know also a guru who living in a Sivananda Ashram, not Sivananda Ashram, in Kailasam, traditional monastery in Rishikesh. So one day he had a dream, one dream, and he said that he must go to Ganges. And he went to Ganges. There is one special stone and say that I am the Shiva and I want to stay in Kailas Ashram, for example. So then he went to Ganges to take shower. That's very special stone. And he have dream about it. And he take the stone. And that stone they put in the Shiva temple. And that is now like a Shiva lingam. Like Shiva lingam. So it happens. Even I also get one stone from the Mother Ganges. That is our Shiva lingam as well. So that is the Murti, the statue like a Lord Ganesh. I was sitting meditation, I saw a statue, very nice stone, not a special stone, but whatever the stone is there, no matter. So then I got very special stone and I'm putting our ashram, so I worship since a long time. Long time. So sometimes you have your own vision or dreams. It happens. Then He was awake-struck and filled with joy. He began intense study and reflection on these sutras. He read them thoroughly and exhaustively, concentrating and meditating upon each other, seeking to grasp its true and hidden meaning. Through this profound study and reflection, he gained the understanding and knowledge the sutras contained. He then began to share the theory and secrets of these sutras with his chief disciples, Bhakta Bhatta Kalata, Bhatta Kalata, and others. Simultaneously revealed the Sutras is a book called Spanda Karika. Himras further clarified these Spanda verses in his work entitled Spanda Nirnaya. Nirnaya means and the final understandings or final decisions. And now the Shiva Sutra will be explained. The first sutras of the Shiva Sutra is explained that the reality of the universe is the real self. This self is not false. This is the contrary to the theories of those philosophers who argue that the individual being is always individual being and universal being is always universal being. For these philosophers, universal being will never be united with the individual being, and individual being will never be united with the universal being. But this Sutra, on the other hand, stated that individual being is one with the universal being. The reality of the whole universe is God consciousness. So it is filled with the God consciousness. So what I mean here, as per Vedanta, so individual consciousness and can merge with supreme consciousness and merge and supreme consciousness and supreme consciousness and also can merge with individual consciousness. But here the thing is we have to realize our individual consciousness as Atma. So once we realize Atma, so naturally can unite with the supreme consciousness. And they say that this first sutra, on the other hand, stated that individual being is one with the universal being. The reality of the whole universe is the God consciousness. And so once you and realize your inner self, the sutra, Atma, Chaitanya Atma. So Atma is the pure consciousness. And that consciousness can be naturally. And you are merged with supreme consciousness. And you know that so God is the pure and absolute consciousness. So it means, and you are becoming yourself as a pure and supreme consciousness. You are not the mind, not the body, not the emotions. So this is the sutras and taught by Lord Shiva out of her revelations. Then we have to literally go to the forward and what the sutra try to speak. In this verse, the word Atma means the reality of everything. Supreme consciousness, Chaitanya, the reality of everything. Why? Because the one who has not come into consciousness does not exist at all. The act of consciousness is the same in the consciousness and the unconsciousness. For the one who is not conscious of the act of consciousness, it is also there in the background. So the consciousness being is the being who makes other consciousness. This being is the independent in all knowledge and every action. Such a reality is called Chaitanya. So again, try to note. So the consciousness being is the being who makes other consciousness. So it means the Brahman, the absolute conscious, the God. So God is remain conscious. And whatever God makes, and also the consciousness. This being is independent in all knowledge and every actions. Such a reality is called Chaitanya. That means Atma is Chaitanya, which means complete independent. All knowledge and all actions are united in one consciousness, completely independent. God consciousness. Only Paramasiva processes this completely independent God consciousness. So here Lord Shiva called Paramasiva. So Paramasiva means Para means supreme. And Shiva means absolute consciousness. That what you have been studied long time now. And here, and you must know that Vedanta is all about or Shiva Sutras or spiritual science. You have to learn, you have to remind yourself, you have to remember yourself again and again and again and again. Then mind only can be educated. Mind can be, our mind don't educate. If you say one time, two time, third time. So therefore we see that, and we must meditate, meditate. We say manana. Keep remembering, constant remembering, manana, dhyana, and meditate and contemplate, regular, constantly. Manana, then nidhi dhyasana. The nidhi dhyasana atma chintana, nidhi dhyasana introspect, introspect. Is it a body? Is it a mind? Is it a soul? What else? Eh? So why I have the difficulties? Why not I'm free from stress and strain? Why I have the karma? Why I have to suffer? What is exactly I am? So that is the all about nididhyasana. Self introspections, atma chintana. Then from earth to Anasrita Shiva, all the beings are dependent on the conscious being. Shiva, although the complete independent state of Shiva possesses many divine aspects, such as being eternal, all pervading, completely full, and all knowing. These divine aspects are not unique to Shiva. They could also be found in other beings. The singularly unique aspect of Lord Shiva is complete independent, Swatantra. Swatantra means Swatantra. Swa means your own, and Tantra means your freedom, freely to walk, freedom. Swatantra. This complete independence is not found anywhere except the state of Lord Shiva. So anyway, when you study Brahma Sutras, the science of absolute, they talk about Paramatma, the supreme consciousness, and you know that. And Saivism is one of the classical philosophy as well. One of the and the supreme and one of the great philosophy for the path of enlightenment. Because Saivism, it is part of the Agam Sastra as well. Saivagam. We say Saivagam. Shiva Sutra Saivagam. They taught about the science of freedom, the science of enlightenment. So therefore, Lord, the Shiva Sutra dedicated to Lord Shiva as a Param Shiva, and also therefore they say that the complete independence is not found anywhere except in the state of Lord Shiva. So what do you mean? So it means, so Lord Shiva is the only and supreme consciousness. Other than that is no supreme consciousness. So Lord Shiva is the only enlightenment master or enlightenment consciousness. Right? So therefore Parama Shiva, supreme Shiva, Sada Shiva, eternal consciousness. So in this sutra, the state of complete independence is indicated and accomplished through the use of word Chaitanya. On the other hand, the author would use the word Chaitana. If Chaitana and Chaitanya both are the same. And if he were to declare that other aspect, in addition to the aspect of a complete independence, Swatantra, independence Swatantra, also existed in the state of Lord Shiva. But only one aspect exists, and that is called Swatantra. The other aspects, such as being all pervading, completely full, filled with bliss, do not, etc., do not exist. It is the only this one aspect, Swatantra, that is revealed by the word Chaitanya. They indicated that the word Chaitanya means the independent state of consciousness. You see, same thing the author tried to repeating, but try to also more clarifying. Sometimes see, you see that as a teacher, as we are Acharya, we repeating many things again and again and again, right? And it means you need to be more clarified, more clarified. Like you practice sometimes sound salutation, one time not enough. Teacher say practice 12 rounds, repeating again and again and again. Same thing again. So what happening? So when you learn again and again, so your mind will and reminding again and again and again. It is called samskara. So you're reminding the Atma is Chaitanya, Atma is independent, Atma is the Swatantra, Chaitana, absolute consciousness. So that is how the Sutra try to and speaking about it. They say the independent state of consciousness is the self. It is the self of everything. Because whatever exists in the world is the state of Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is found everywhere. So like Brahman is everywhere. Absolute consciousness is everywhere. We have already seen that different aspects of Lord Shiva do not exist at all. Now I will show you why these different as aspects are to be excluded from those of Lord Shiva. So let's see what is that. So if for the moment they accept that different aspect of Lord Shiva do exist, then we must ask the question, are these aspects filled with the Swatantra? If they are not filled with the Swatantra, then they are insentient. Jada. Jada means no life. No life. No prana. So, and without consciousness, anatma. So it means without atma is called anatma. Without soul is called no atma. Absence of atma is called anatma. Anat. Then, if however the aspects are also filled with the independent consciousness of Lord Shiva, then why not just accept independent consciousness? Why postulate those independent aspects at all? So at the same time, if the state of God consciousness exists in the fullness of independence, and if time, space, and form are separate from the independent state of consciousness, then they would not exist at all. The time would not exist, space would not exist, and form would not exist. If, however, we accept this aspect, thinking that he is eternal, timeless, and cause of universe, then if their aspect as a independent, they are filled with the consciousness. If, however, they are not independent, then they have been carried out from God consciousness and they cannot exist at all in the state of Lord Shiva. Now, if all individual beings are filled with the consciousness, then where is the difference in these beings? There can be no difference. So, all individual beings are one universal being. So, all individual beings are one universal being. Let us examine the theory of malas, the veils, ignorance. Where does this ignorance exist? How can we say that ignorance exists? If ignorance is removed from God consciousness, it does not exist at all. So where does this exist? If ignorance is filled with the independent state of God consciousness, then it is not ignorance at all, but fullness of God consciousness. So ignorance cannot be found. Then what is this that remains? What is left? So there is only independent supreme God consciousness, which is the reality of the self. So very interesting that you must know, and the sutras are a lot of things clarify. Like sometimes, for example, I just give one example as per my own understanding. For example, we say Abhidya Asmita Raga Desa Abhinivesa Klesa, we are suffering. But if you take other side, we are Jivatma and we are Datma and we are and once we realize our Atma, we are becoming Paramatma, the Supreme Consciousness. So we say that I am the Shiva, I am the Brahman, I am the Absolute Consciousness, right? But how then Abhidya is there? Then how and Asmita there, when Raga there, Dvesa there, Abhinivesa there, right? So you have to think about if you are the soul, if you are the Atma, and you are ultimately the Shiva consciousness, right? But then why you have the avidya? Is the avidya is the part of the supreme consciousness? Is the avidya the Lord Shiva? So answer not seems very good because Lord Shiva consciousness is all about the pure consciousness, the independent consciousness, the supreme consciousness, right? And eventually we are the absolute consciousness, we are the eternal consciousness, and we remain exist. So there is a no avidya, there is no asmita, there is no raga, there is no dvesa, there is no avinivesa. So it means there is no any classes, there is no any sufferings. There are no any difficulties in our life. So we have to understand, is it the ignorance is the part of supreme consciousness? So we have to think about, right? We have to think about it. Am I clear that? Atmanand, you hear me? Atmanand, Atmanand is here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So just what I try to remind you. So Shiva Sutra, there is everything is consciousness. Then why the ignorance? If ignorance is the part of Shiva consciousness, but how is possible that? So it means ignorance is not the Shiva consciousness, right? Like avidya, asmita, raga, dvesa, vinivesa. So this is the part of the mind. It's nothing with the soul, right? If Atma is the Chaitanya and we are the Atma, right? We are the Atma. So ultimately we are the Paramatma. Then how we can have the avidya? How we can have the sufferings? These are the cross questions, Atmanan. If we are the Atma, we are the consciousness, and we are the eternal consciousness, then how the avidya is there? How ignorance is there? If ignorance is there, then how can be pure consciousness? Pure consciousness means there is absence of avidya, absence of ignorance, absence of ego, absence of all sufferings. So then, how we can declare ourselves? So that is the cross questions here to study Shiva Sutras. Am I clear that? Then he say, what if for the time being we were to say that the veil of ignorance exists before you are realized, and that afterwards, when you are realized it does not exist, then if ignorance does not exist after realization, it is the truth that it did not exist at all. So why? Because at the time of realization, the aspirant realizes and knows that ignorance does not exist at all. So that ignorance never exists. So whatever he called ignorance existed, but it was not actually ignorance. It was really non-fullness of knowledge. Am I clear that? Here I have a little bit cross questions. They say before realize your soul, and there is ignorance. But after soul, there is no ignorance. So what does that mean? Is it we are the ignorant person, or we are the Atma, or we are the pure consciousness? They say that here, the sutras say that no. Actually, it is not we are the ignorant. Actually, we have no knowledge about Atma. Means we don't have any full knowledge. We are the pure conscious. And once you understand, I am the pure conscious, and I am the Atma, I am the Shiva. So naturally, there is no ignorance. Am I clear that? That is very simple. So it means absence of a wisdom of pure consciousness. Sometimes, see, and for example, you are a man or woman, and sometimes people say, you are a citizen of America, or you are a citizen of Pakistan, you are a citizen of India. But once you realize, you did not check your own passport, for example, and you have passport, I'm the citizen of, for example, Nepal. Then you understand, so once you are clear, I'm citizen of Nepal, so nobody can divert you. Nobody can make you confusions. Am I clear that? You come to reality. So that means your ignorance is over. And so far ignorance you have, then so far you have no passport, for example. Somebody say you are from Sri Lanka, you are from this Pakistan, you are from America, but you are not confirmed. But when you passport, yes, I am the citizen of Nepal. So so it means you don't realize the exact citizenship of yours. So then ignorance is over. Then suffering is over. Similarly, so once you realize I am Atma, so naturally there are no ignorance, and we are the pure consciousness. And so far you don't realize we are pure consciousness. Naturally, ignorance is there. So when you say Chaitanya Atma, what does that mean? So after realization, you realize I'm the Atma, I'm the pure consciousness. So naturally, there is the absence of ignorance. So then becoming you are free. So that is all Shiva Sutra speak about it. So now we'll stop for 5 2 minutes, then come back.